And welcome back to Smugglefisk Games. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the game Reassembly. I have already played Reassembly a little bit. I have played through a galaxy as the Terran and a galaxy as the Bees. Those are some of the factions in the game. Here we're going to be playing as the Crystalline faction. We can maybe get some custom colors here. I like blue. I'm not sure I like green with it. Dark red could go nicely, like so. Okay, I don't think we can change that purple, so we're just going to launch into the universe here. This game is a little bit like Spaz or Starfarer or something, but it's more procedural and, well, we're starting the tutorial here, so we can look at the map here. Mouse wheel, okay. On the map, so we're at the center of the universe. The center of the universe is the hardest part of the universe. Usually, with most of the other factions, you start on the edge of this map here. I think to compensate, this faction is supposed to be super powerful. This is the ship designer here, and our ship is already at its maximum design value here. We've got antimatter missile launchers. We should probably play with those for a little bit before I totally throw out this design and start something else. Still, the tutorial is up. You can not only design your own ship, you can design all of the ships that your faction will use. These are on point defense, those are on right mouse button fire, that's acceptable. These are our allied ships, our allied stations all around us. We collect resources here. Resources can be used to build ships. Resources can be sold to your allied stations. They will use those resources to build ships. You will get credits. Credits are the C abbreviation. Resources are the R abbreviation. One of the most important things you can do with your credits is go to the upgrade screen here. You can upgrade the size of your ship with the P. P refers to sort of design points, I suppose, is what you would refer to it as. There are usually, most of the other factions have a data bank with 2 or 3 or 4 times as many things to research, so that's a little bit of a disappointment here. But I guess this is maybe one of the newer factions. It's not fully fleshed out yet. The only weapon, really, that we haven't encountered on our original design is going to be this plasma condenser. It has a decent range upgrade over the... well, we only right now have plasma diffractors. Yes, okay. Those have terrible range. So at some point we're going to want to get the plasma condensers. I'm not sure that it's right now. We'd probably like to increase our size first. I'm not sure we'll be able to take any battles just yet because at the center of the universe, like I said, all of the enemy fleets are super powerful. The current control mode I am using is the default, where your ship always tries to face the cursor and you move forward mostly with W. X is a really great hotkey. X attempts to make your ship entirely stationary. So, I mean, it's really helpful in space because there's no inertia, or there is inertia, there's no friction, so your ship will never stop otherwise. There are other control schemes. You can steer entirely with the keyboard here and use your mouse for turrets. This ship doesn't have any turrets. You can move sort of like a side scroller here, just S for down, W for up. I don't like that. I like the cursor rotate ship. It's especially good for quick fast ships like the one we're in right now. I'm using the mini map in the lower left hand corner to navigate our sort of objectives here. The green squares are your allied ships and stations. The blue squares are ones that you can unlock, and that is what I am about to attempt to do here. Although this looks like a fragment of an enemy station or ship. I'm going to see if it yields anything for destroy. No, that was already destroyed. This station over here with the blue square around it, we can simply move up to it and claim it for our faction. It'll give us a big credit bonus, and we can use that for a ship upgrade we can get right into. And as you can see, this is one of the key mechanics of the game. Everything reassembles. As you take damage, your ship will... ooh, I've lost track of where I am. Your ship will automatically reassemble its entire structure. So since I'm stuck, what I'm going to do to just get unstuck is design this ship which has nothing. This is just a ship with nothing on it. It'll make me smaller, and I can get unstuck. Yeah, there. So I'm unstuck there. We can do an upgrade now. As you see, I now have almost 700 credits, so I'll upgrade my size a little. I might want to get the small plasma condenser, or maybe even some bigger boosters, so that I have more thrust. The starting booster is 4P for 22 thrust. Oh yeah, this is way better. Here. This is 6 times the thrust for double the cost, but I like this one. This is slightly more cost. Slightly more cost, but a lot more thrust. And I'm going to get the plasma condenser just so that I have, I guess, like a regular weapon to fire. Spend the rest of my credits on increasing my size. And now I'm going to start the new design from scratch. Power conduits, not sure those will be necessary right off the bat. Usually I like to wall my... This is your command module. If this is destroyed, your ship is destroyed. So I usually like to armor that on all sides with some hull pieces. I'm not sure which hull pieces are going to fit best here. It looks like these are actually going to fully protect the front of my ship. I do not have a square hull piece that I can use for the back. I have this or this. And you can increase the size of these as such. I am not going to do that right this moment. There, that should be pretty good armor. Honestly, it's not that great. That might be better, but I really want things to line up nicely. So I usually like to create wings. Wings help you steer because of their relationship to the center of mass that you'll have. So that's small, medium. These are going to be too big. That should work. And I'm going to mirror to... this doesn't need to be mirrored. Okay. Rotate. Okay, those wings are pretty small. I'm going to need something bigger to stick some engines off of. That'll be good. And now I'm going to put some engines on. So these engines on the top and bottom will be great for forward thrust, but they'll also be great for turning the ship, rotating the ship around. I don't have any weapons on here yet, but you also need to put boosters in opposition to your main boosters just so you can stop. If you don't use thrusters, you don't have brakes. There's no such thing as brakes in space. Your only real option is going to be to reverse thrust, which is really easy with the X hotkey. This is 30 damage, 5 rounds per second, 7 rounds per second, 10... Oh, goodness. I'm going to pause the recording for a second. I'm going to load up on these plasma condensers. I don't really have anywhere good to put them. They're actually really large, so maybe we'll go with some plasma diffusers instead to start off with. Plasma diffuser. The heavy hitter is really this missile, but if you look at the explosion damage, it's pretty weak. The good thing about the explosion radius is, so if you take a hit on a ship like mine, if you hit this thruster with an explosion radius weapon, you'll probably also hit this armor block. So it can really help cut through armor as you hit the things behind the armor. So plasma condenser, yeah, I need something with some range, so I'm going to throw some of these on. This is really not the best design, but I'm in a hurry to show you some of the action that this game offers. So I'm going to just load up like that. And put some additional armor pieces on here. You do not want to be taking direct weapons fire on your own weapons because they'll get destroyed much more quickly then. This is a bit of a challenge to build. Most races give you squares and triangles and not these weird edge pieces. The weird edge pieces... Oh, this is the upgraded booster, huh? I was using the wrong boosters to start with, so I'm just going to get rid of... Well, the ones on front won't fit, but I'm going to upgrade... Won't fit. I'm going to put a piece like that. No, that's not going to fit. Piece like that. Now I can fit some of these gigantic boosters on the back here. I really want this ship to be maneuverable because in this region of space, we are going to be the weakest ship. And we're going to be the weakest ship by a pretty good margin. So this should help. I am really struggling without my fallback of boring old squares. That's a little off balance, but it'll have to do for now. There we go. Get some more of these wherever I can fit them. I just want to spend my p-value. This is going to be a pretty bad design. But whenever you start as a new faction, which is one of the great things about this game, they tend to all play really differently from each other. These do not appear to be connected. Or maybe those aren't connected. Yeah, there we go. No. Oh, okay, it's just a color effect. There, okay, they're connected now. They're connected now. Okay, I'm just about at my limit. I'm going to get some more boosters on here. Get some more boost in the back. Get one in the front. We should be able to steer pretty well like this. And I'm going to name this ship Smuggle 1.0. Let's give this a try. Save that design. I'm going to swap into... This is whatever your current ship is up here in the upper left. And you'll see we immediately begin building our design. The regrowth of the blocks is quite natural and quick. So, yeah, there we go. That's all of them, it looks like. And I'm going to make sure my hotkey bindings, they're all on point defense. That means I will not need to fire my guns. These are all point defense guns. I should be able to just charge an enemy. Okay, I'm quite slow. I will need more boosters. I should be able to charge an enemy. Okay, I'm not going to catch those guys. I'm going to need way more thrust. So, back to the drawing board here. 44 thrust. Yeah, the 22 is not going to cut it. Just... These top and bottom boosters are at the wrong angle, actually. The perfectly wrong angle. Which is quite bad. They actually should be facing the tangent to the circle surrounding the center of mass for the ship. Which means they should be facing this way. So I need to find a way to get a piece on there which will allow that. There we go. And I can actually copy, paste, mirror, and just place on the other side. And I won't need these anymore. And in the front, it's the same situation. You want tangent. These are not tangent. These are facing directly in. That's why my steering is so weak. They need to be facing this way to be going in the right direction. So another big triangle here. Yeah, close enough. That will be the correct way for them to face. And copy, paste, mirror, drag into place. It's a really powerful shipbuilding editor, and I am not getting, you know, even the best use out of it here, but I'm going to want still something facing straight backwards. That's not straight backwards. And neither is that. This, not close. Triangles are a little confusing. I have not built much with triangles before. And that's still not quite right. Like I said, I really want to get into some combat. Maybe this was not the best faction to pick for that, because they're in the center of the universe. You really need good designs to stand a chance. And this is not my best design. So, but we should be a lot faster. And I think Oh. Oh, we got destroyed. The only penalty for being destroyed is you lose some credits, you lose some resources. Hopefully I can find an enemy ship that is frail enough for me to take on here. That's an enemy drone next to me I need to be careful of. Once I get my pieces rebuilt, I can attempt to find a weak enough enemy. Okay, that enemy is firing giant bursts of energy. I do not want to approach them. Maybe this enemy I can do some damage to. No, not really. Check my key bindings again. And they are set to fire. Nearby targets, all nearby targets. The yellow squares are stations that are requesting assistance. They will sometimes reward you with credits if you help defeat enemies near them. But there do not seem to be any enemies here right now. I have gotten stuck here on my allied ship. So I will just real quick swap again like I did before. And that'll let me pilot away. This fighter design may have been better than what I started with, but I really like to build custom ships because then it feels sort of like you have control over the game. You are using your own ingenuity. Okay, what's wrong with this design here? Turning... Yeah, I can turn on a dime. It's the forward thrust that is wobbly, I would say, is how I would describe it. Okay, we're gonna bum rush this ship. Okay, we're taking heavy fire. We're taking heavy fire. This is not good. We have lost our armor. We did not get in range. We do not have... I guess that's why the starting ship is this fighter with the missiles. We really are we're gonna need missiles because we need to stay at really long range. Just cram an extra missile on there. Some extra boosters. This design should be a little more effective. Hopefully. We got destroyed. I expected that. We were taking pretty heavy fire. Like I said, this is the center of the universe. It is super duper hard mode here. Yeah, we can fire 3 missiles now. Maybe 3 missiles. We'll be able to snipe one of these guys. No. Not even close. Okay, I'm going to consider this a bit of a failure, so I am going to stop here, and I'm going to do a real short clip of just showing off actually some good designs I have on my other save files. So, see you next time at Smuggle Fist Games.